Hi guys, we're back. We're going to start on our next step of our You Can Build It Beginning Builder series for our 55 Bel Air. So we're down to doing some of the details. I started a little bit. I've got my marker lights and headlight buckets on. I do have my tail lights in and the rear bumper on. But we're going to start doing the chrome or silver for the window trim and whatnot, and then all will be left is final assembly. So we get started on it. If you don't have a real steady hand, you can actually tape it off the areas that you're working on. Or one thing I'll do at times is take a post-it note and just take a post-it note and put it down where you're wanting, so you don't have any over mess. A little bit just to help control your marker a little bit. And I know it's not going to show up on the camera very well, but as you advance down the road, you'll probably switch over to doing this with a bare metal foil, but we don't want to get into that yet on beginning builder series. Let's say if you're at the point where you're ready to start airbrushing again, you can mask this off and paint it with the airbrush, or you can paint it with brush paint it, whatever you feel more comfortable with. But for this round, we're just going to do the Sharpie pen, because we don't need it to be super shiny to begin with, because they weren't real shiny. The stuff didn't stay shiny very long on the real cards. If you make a horrible mistake, you can take like a Q-tip and dip it in a little bit of alcohol and get most of it off. Nope, that's not alcohol. That would have been bad. There's my alcohol. Because this is an alcohol-based pen, so I can dip it in there, then I'll take and pat it out. Get most all the alcohol out of it. And then I can just quick swipe. You don't want to rub it in, but you can just do a quick swipe to clean the marker off. Usually, if you rub too hard, you will get into the paint. The alcohol if allowed to stay long enough, will eat into the paint. So we'll just do it real quick, real light, and do it. So we're going to work our way around. I'm going to start here with the windshield. So that's one way you can do it, is with the marker pen. Here, let's do this. Of course, I just put it away, but it's in here. If you have silver paint, then you can always paint it with the silver as well. We'll do that on the side the vent windows. There's the word I was looking for. You want if you're gonna do this, you want a nice brush that'll come to a fine point when it's loaded with paint. You want your paint to Not to be too thin where it runs everywhere, but you do want it to flow evenly. Let's see if I get in there. So that's 2 ways you can do it. Let's see here. We'll do the top of our door jamb here. Now in this paint, if I mess it up, it's water based, so I can just use. Let's put some water on my Q-tip and clean it off. So you might have to turn all different angles to get the good angle for getting your brush in there to paint. But if you're not real steady, then I probably would recommend you just doing the marker. But put that down. And we'll do the doorknob, door handle while we're here. Okay, so we painted our. Got to paint on our door jamb and on the door handle and the lock. I'm going to continue on with this, and then I'll come back when I've got it done, because you don't want to sit here and watch me do that, because when I'm focusing, I don't talk much. So we will work on this some more, and then I'll come right back. Okay, guys, we're back, and I went around. See, we did all of our trim. I don't know how well the camera's picking up, and the light this time of the day is behind me, so it's probably getting blown out. But we got our trim work all done. I did some with the pen, most of it with the Sharpie pen, and a little bit with the paintbrush. So we've got all that done. So we're ready to start doing a final assembly, or start putting your body. You got to put your body parts on. You can start putting your body parts on. But I already have those on, except for the front bumper is the only external piece still to go on. So according to the directions, we probably our next step would be to put the glass in. So when we get ready to do that, we'll turn the body upside down. I like to do it on top of something soft. And first off, we'll check and make sure there's these marks where the machine pushes the hole. Sometimes those have a raise, so you want to get rid of those. Depending on the color you painted your interior, or your interior, you may or may not want to paint the headliner. I'll probably put some paint on that just to get rid of the label on it where they stamped it. I'll probably put some paint on the inside of this, probably just white paint, just to cover that up, and then we'll put our glass in. And then here we have the front windshield, the rear window, and the two rear side windows, and the headlights. Best thing to use, especially for a beginner, is good old white glue. Elmer's white glue, or if you have Aleene's tacky glue, or I'm using an actual canopy glue, but it's all the same stuff. It's all white glue. And because that being water soluble, if you get it on the glass, it's easy to get off of, and it's easy to work with, and you got work time for setting it. So what we'll do is, let's see, we'll do one of them. We'll do the rear one, because it's already half loose. First, I want to make sure it's all cleaned up real good. I'm going to be careful, try not to scratch or nick it too much, because this is very brittle. It'll crack on you in a second if you're not careful. Treat it gentle. Treat it like a piece of glass. Okay, so we're gonna fit it in, so it won't be almost impossible for me to show, and it fits in pretty well. So I'm going to take it back out. I'm going to put just a little drop of glue in a couple of spots. I mean, I don't want a ton of glue on there. That you can actually, if you're worried about getting too much on it, you can put some on a pad or on a tray. Come out. Oop. That way I got 10 times more than I need for the whole car on there, but that's okay. Give me a new one. Give me a new one. I'll start with a new one. So, see if it helps a little bit. All right. I'm going to take this glue, and I'm just going to dot it in a couple of places along the edge where the glass is going to go. And this glue will dry clear, so anything that's on there, you can wipe it off, or B, if it gets on and actually cures, it'll still be clear, so it'll be okay. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. See, I got a little smudge there. I can actually just go along with a toothpick, a cotton swab. Get a little bit of water on it and clean it up. And we'll let that dry. Well, you can do the other windows well, but overall you're gonna let that dry. So once you got our glass in, if you got your interior put together and your chassis done, like we have here, we have our interiors all assembled, ready to go. Because once we get the glass in, we can put the interior in, and then we've got our chassis here. This is just personal preference. I prefer to not put the wheels on till the very end. But you can put them on now before everything's attached. You can't put them on now. It's just up to you. So a personal preference. I like to put them on last. So that's where we're at, guys. Get our windows in, let that glue dry, and then we can start doing our final assembly. So the next section, which will probably be sometime tomorrow, but I mean on the same video here, we'll start doing our final assembly. So until then, for you guys, it'll be like 10 seconds. For me, it'll be tomorrow. We will see you next time. Hi guys, it's that time. We're back for the final part of our You Can Build It series on AMT. Is it AMT? I can never remember. AMT, MPC. AMT. They're the same company. 55 Bel Air. And we're about to do the final assembly. I got in the last section of the video, we did started doing our chrome with the marker and some paints. We've got all that done now. Kind of get in here. We did all that with the markers, all the trim. And we got our glass all put in. And we let it dry. And then we'll give it one more quick polish after we get it all put together. But we're there. We're ready to go. And so we're going to do the final assembly. And on the earlier section, I always said I'd like to put my wheels on last. But on this kit, you do have to at least put the back ones on before the chassis goes in. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get it fit in because of the way the fenders are shaped. So we've got that. We've got our interior all done. I don't remember if we ever showed it all together. If not, I'm sure we've had pictures of it somewhere along the way, or we'll put pictures in it, part of the end of the video type thing. So we've got that done, and it just drops down and they're upside down. You might have to putz with it and mess with it a little bit to get it on this one to get it to sit in exactly right spot once you get everything put together. But we're gonna, let's say I got the front bumper put on and got to put a big fingerprint right in the front of it. I'm gonna have to fix that, but that's okay. It happens. Okay, so we're gonna get our body in here, and I generally don't glue the chassis in. I usually just put it in and let it. The body will usually hold it in. So we got that is in now. So all we gotta do is put the wheels on, and we'll check it and make sure it's not wobbly. And if it is wobbly, we'll see where we need to adjust it to make it not be wobbly. Okay, we're gonna set it down here. And yeah, it does not wobble, so we're in good shape there. I will probably I'm gonna take those front tires back off, put a dab of white glue on there in case I ever need to get them off again. I need to drill that one a little bit deeper. It's not quite deep enough on the post. So let's do that real quick. Where's my drills? That's not the right one. I'm going to use the same glue that we used for putting the glass in. Hopefully it don't explode it everywhere this time. Just a little dot's all it can take. And I'm going to use that because in case I ever want to take them back off, then I can take them off. All right, we're going to get the other one put on. And if you did it, watch where your glue went. They do to still turn. So we got that on. We got our wheels are on. We'll set that back down. And last but not least, we got our hood. We painted the inside of it just flat black. There we go. Let me pull out our turntable and our mirror. I'll move our camera down here a little bit so we can see a little better. There we go. So there we go, boys and girls. There's our 55, all finished. There we go. And we'll let that, once that white glue sets up on those front tires, and it's all going to be just spiffy. So I hope you enjoyed this series. I'll put a bunch of pictures, still pictures of the finished car at the end of this here video. And yeah, you guys can do it. Beginners can do it. And we did this all with just spray cans and brush paints and simple tools. So I hope you enjoyed this series, and we'll probably do one again sometime later this year. Another beginner's basic series. Well, maybe we'll move up the next step where we airbrushed some of the paints or I used the bare metal foil or something like that. So, but until then, check out my regular builds. We got our live stream build series. I got one coming up for that. Should be finished today. The video will probably be up by the end of the weekend. So With that, I want to say good morning, good evening, good night, depending on where you are in the world. You watch this video, thank you, and good night. And yes, you can do it. Get out there and build something, guys.